My name's Mark Ashcroft, on social media known as Senior Mash, going back to my days at Rufford Cricket Club here in Lancashire. And I am going to use Substack to write and talk about rugby union alongside my other passion, which is local history and memories. Firstly, big thanks to the Twitter of Talk Rugby Union and Nat League Rugby, aka talkingrugbyunion.co.uk and ncarugby.com. My thoughts, my reflections and my memories. I found Substack and it's allowed me to start writing about memories and reflections over the last 62 years. But it's given me the confidence to talk about other subjects. And one of those subjects that I'm most confident about is sport. Sport's been part of my life every weekend for the best part of 55 years. So here's some thoughts about the start of the rugby season. I've seen quite a lot this week already. Some results that caught my eye from the guys at Talking Rugby Union were Argentina, Australia. What an amazing comeback for the Argentinian Pumas. Quite outstanding, humbling the Australians. And I think Joe Schmidt thought, following their win last week, that he had turned the corner. Just as you think that, it bites you. Saturday, I was able to go over to Park Lane to watch Sedgley Park in National League Division 1, playing Esher, newly promoted, and with some real classic rugby history behind them. Led by John Inverdale and England's wonderful open side flanker Peter Winterbottom. First half was very even. However, second half, Sedgley came away with some great try scoring on both flanks. What was really interesting for me was the fact that a team coached by Peter Winterbottom was so shy at the breakdown, almost not competing at the ruck. I followed Clifton for a number of years and thoroughly enjoyed their activity on social media. Luke Cousins is somebody that I met in Rouen several years ago when I visited a old university colleague of my son's, a guy called Joe Elliott, and the guys at Rouen made me very welcome, and I've followed Clifton pretty much ever since. Looks like an interesting 15-all draw with the Exeter University team. My tip for National 1 at the start of the season was always going to be Plymouth Albion. I was really impressed with what they started to do last year and expected them to register a win. Long trip for Sale, and you'll see later with one of the tweets that I've identified, it was a big trip for the guys from Sale. Probably going down the night before helped. I think trying to travel down to Plymouth Albion from Manchester the morning of a game would be very, very stressful. Congratulations to Sale. That is a fantastic result away from home. And whilst I won't be able to be there next weekend, it looks like a cracking game, Sale versus Sedgley Park. So let's hope both teams can deliver. And Castra, Racing 92. Racing 92 is on there because Talking Rugby Union's editor, Chris Heel, has for such a long time followed the progress of Sam James, You remember Sam from Sale Sharks, and for me, his move to Racing 92 is so well deserved. It was interesting at Sedgley Park on Saturday. Sam's dad was coaching Manchester Twos on the outer pitches. So we're going to keep an eye on Racing 92. Oh, and there's our friend Owen Farrell, a guy that I first met when he was 16. And my son was playing in the age grade trials at under 16 level, and had the pleasure of meeting Owen for the first time. So I've learned a few things this weekend about rugby. Definitely the value of the club sponsors. Absolutely impressed by the National League Rugby show on YouTube. What a preview show that is. And I do hope that people, as with this, comment, like and share. And of course, Argentina. Wow, they just keep giving to the game of rugby. And long may that continue. At Sedgley Park, it was a memorial day for Dave Smith, former club chairman and president, who very sadly died last year. And there was so much love at the game. The grandstand has been named after him, and the club sponsor, H. Smith and Sons, was emblazoned everywhere. And clearly the guys knew where to park their vehicles for maximum impact. You can see to the right, Sedgley really advertising the sponsors. And over the coming weeks, I'll talk about the importance of sponsorship to rugby, but to also other sports. There's the David H. Smith stand in all its glory. Fantastic. And the guys from Esher and Sedge. Andy Riley just about to dot down in the far corner. On social media, there was some interesting goings on with the game management system. And Lancashire Rugby were able to put on Facebook, okay, own up, who's broke the GMS? Can anyone see results? And the Daily Telegraph, the RFU has this summer rolled out its new game management system, but it's causing chaos. Let's see what happens in days and weeks to come. In theory, a fantastic idea to have centralised databases, but they can be fraught. And let's wait and see what feedback we get on this one. Elsewhere on Twitter, I was very pleased to see that clubs like Worthing were putting out on Twitter interviews with their coach ahead of the game, attempting get fans, get spectators to watch National League Rugby. So important. And I just loved this particular tweet from Sale FC, the Dogs, as they arrived adjacent to Sandy Park, the hotel adjacent to Sandy Park, I should say, before playing Plymouth Albion in what seemed to be a fantastic game. And I do like the way in which Richmond have used the 10-minute countdown to really capture the players' intensity before their game. The players are at the core of rugby, whatever level, and it's good to see such images being put on Twitter. And hats off to Luctonians. There's an awful lot of travel in National League, and the guys at Luctonians have always had a very special clubhouse. Some of their speakers before games on a Saturday afternoon are superb, and I noticed this particular tweet that they were encouraging their fans who couldn't make the journey to Hinckley to get down to their clubhouse because they were going to live stream the game back. What a great initiative. We've got to get people playing rugby, but we've got to get people watching rugby and watching live rugby. So that's all from me, and until the next time, which should be next week, I hope you enjoy this short presentation. Thanks.